gentlemen, and welcome to the Pat Sullivan Center at Pat Quigley Court, host of tonight's CCAC Conference Tournament semifinal matchup between the visiting Olivet Nazarene Tigers and your St. Francis Fighting Saints. Before we introduce tonight's starting lineups, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. First, let's introduce the visiting Olivet Nazarene Tigers. First up, the 6'3" senior guard, number 0, Daniel. The 6'2" freshman guard, number 10, Tyler Cole. The 6' junior guard, number 21, Caleb Cole. The 6'5" senior guard, number 22, a 6'7" junior forward, Eli Edwards. The Tigers are coached by Nick Burley. Saints fans on your feet. It's time to meet the starting five for the Fighting Saints. First up, 5'9" junior guard from Louisville, Kentucky, number 2, Sean Sims. A 6'2" junior guard out of Livingston, Georgia, number 3, Geoffrey Miller. A 6'5" senior forward hailing from Miramar, Florida, number 0, Mel Davis. At the other forward spot, standing 6 feet 8 inches tall from the Sarte, Oregon, Spain, number 21, Aitor Amatorto. And the center, standing 6'10", hailing from Ipswich, Australia, number 45, Eric Small. Your Fighting Saints are coached by Ryan Marks in his 12th season.
Good evening and welcome to the CCAC Tournament Semifinals from Joliet, Illinois, and the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis. It's the Fighting Saints, the number 1 seed in the CCAC, hosting 5th seeded Olivet Nazarene. Welcome to the broadcast. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for tonight's matchup, which should be a good one. These two teams matched up twice this season. St. Francis won both of them. Last time that the Tigers were here, they were embarrassed in a 90-52 St. Francis victory. So expect them to come out fired up for this one today as Merrick Small and Eli Edwards stand at center court for the opening tip, which is won by the Fighting Saints. We're underway. The home team's in white, going from right to left to start today's game. Tigers in purple. They'll be going from left to right in the first half. Saints beat St. Ambrose in round 1, a 5-point victory on Tuesday night. Ball knocked away from Merrick Small and pulled in by Caleb Coro. Olivet Nazarene forces a turnover on the opening possession. Olivet is the 5 seed. They pulled the minor upset on the road, defeating Indiana South Bend by 2 on Tuesday night. Rebound grab by Merrick Small off the miss. Here come the Saints looking for the first points of the game. Aitor Anabararte lobs it inside to Merrick Small. Small kicks it out, Ramel Davis. Open three, good. Ramel Davis, not a huge three-point shooter. He's only made 11 of them all year, but he shoots at a high percentage. And if you give him that much space, he will make you pay, as the Tigers have learned early on tonight. 3-0 St. Francis. Caleb Swearingen sets it up for Olivet. This is Daniel Murphy driving on Davis, backing up. Murphy looks inside, feeds Eli Edwards. Edwards over Merrick Small. Nice touch from Eli Edwards. The junior out of Kokomo, Indiana, has the first points of the game for the Tigers. Saints basketball, usual starting five: Nunnally, Sims, Small, Davis, and Anabararte. Olivet Nazarene starts Daniel Murphy, Tyler Curl, Caleb Coro, Caleb Swearingen, and Eli Edwards. Davis with a shot clock under 10, fires another three. That's two in a row. Like I said, he won't take him a lot unless you leave him uncovered. They've given him space twice in a row, and he's got 6 early points. Here's Caleb Swearingen running into traffic, kicking outside. It's Caleb Coro. Coro guarded by Joffrey Nunnally outside the three-point line. Crosses to his left. Nunnally sticks with him. He spins into the paint just inside the free throw line. Misses the jumper, and Merrick Small grabs the rebound. Delshawn Sims pushes it ahead for the Fighting Saints. It's Nunnally in the corner to Small. Small's been active offensively early on, getting the inside touches. He kicks it out to Anabararte, and he misses the three. Good look for Aitor Anabararte. He's not able to keep the Saints perfect from beyond the arc. 6-2, St. Francis has the lead. Here's Daniel Murphy on the wing, firing across court to Caleb Swearingen. Pull up from 13 feet, rims out. Rebound Anabararte, the second leading rebounder in the CCAC this season. Small gets another post touch, working one-on-one with Edwards, and he draws the foul as Edwards bumps him going up. 17-10 on the first half clock. St. Francis leads 6-2, and they'll try to add to their lead from the free throw line. Good free throw shooting team. Merrick Small is a 71% foul shooter this year, and he makes the first. 7-2 Saints. St. Francis tied Indiana Northwest for a conference championship this year. Saints clinched the automatic bid to the national tournament on the second tiebreaker with Indiana Northwest because those two teams split their regular season matchups. And Northwest lost at home to the number 7 seed on Tuesday. Swearingen steps outside the arc, fires inside Edwards. Layup, no good. May have been tipped from behind by Davis. Olivet gets it back. Swearingen backs in on Anabararte. Shovels out to Coro. Tried to get it back to Swearingen. Pass knocked away. Scooped up by Joffrey Nunnally. Nunnally leads the break. Bounced for Anabararte. Reverse layup is wild. And Olivet takes it quickly the other direction. Caleb Coro going all the way to the rim. No good. Knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the team in purple. Saints basketball ahead by 6. You know that Indiana Northwest is pulling hard for St. Francis now. Each conference gets 2 automatic bids to the national tournament. One goes to the regular season champion, one goes to the conference tournament champion in the CCAC. Davis, turnaround, no. Rebounded by Coro. If the regular season and tournament champion are the same team, then it goes to the second place team, which would be Indiana Northwest. Laid in by Eli Edwards. The junior averaging 17 points per game has the first 4 today for Olivet. So that means if the Saints win today and then again on Saturday, Indiana Northwest would punch their ticket. Olivet needs to win this conference tournament to have any chance at the national tournament. So obviously a huge game for them today. Davis fakes the 3 this time. He's already hit 2 of them. Here he shovels off underneath the basket to Merrick Small. Small finds Anabararte in the corner, and Anabararte finds the bottom of the basket. First points of the game for the Saints' leading scorer, averaging close to 17 points per game. He had a big one on Tuesday in the tournament opener. Davis blocks the shot. Daniel Murphy turned away, and here come the Saints, already up by 6, trying to extend that lead following the big defensive play. Merrick Small just inside the three-point line. Sends it down into the corners. Joffrey Nunnally. Nunnally steps around the defender, and he gets bumped by Caleb Swearingen. That's going to be a foul called on Olivet Nazarene. Their second, first on Caleb Coro. Delshawn Sims is the inbounder. Sims lobs for Merrick Small. Handoff back to Sims. Sims drives on Coro, pulls back, gives to Anabadarte. 12 to shoot. Anabadarte finds Merrick Small. Small going one-on-one with Edwards. Help defense comes. He finds the shooter outside. Anabadarte misses the open three from up top. Olivet hasn't been able to get anything going offensively so far, but they've hung around 10-4. They're down by just 6. Swearingen hands it off to Tyler Curl. Curl to the rim. No good. Shot altered by Anabadarte. Joffrey Nunnally works quickly the other direction. Pulls up at the three-point line on the left wing. Bounce down low. Merrick Small along the baseline. Ramel Davis tries another three-pointer. This time it's an air ball. So they've continually left him open, and he keeps shooting. He's hit 2. That time a miss. It'll be Olivet Nazarene basketball after a timeout. 14-14 to play first half, 10-4 St. Francis. I'll step aside for a moment. Be right back as the first half rolls on. St. Francis trying to punch their ticket to the championship game. Tough start offensively for Olivet Nazarene today. They trail 10-4, just 2 of 9 from the field. Saints have not given them too many easy looks early on. As for St. Francis offensively, Ramel Davis hit back-to-back three-pointers right out of the gate. Since then, the team has gone pretty cold offensively, but they do have the 6-point lead early on, sparked in large part by some excellent defense. Davis not only has the 6 points, he's also got 3 blocks on the defensive end. So a great start for him. Good start for the Saints, trying to pick up their 24th win of the year. St. Francis won the opening round of the CCAC tournament for the first time in 6 years. Back in 2019, the last time they advanced this far in the season, that was the year they won the conference tournament as the 8th seed. Pulled 3 upsets on the road along the way to a conference tournament championship. This year, they are the top seed. And far and away the highest seed remaining, because all of the other top seeds lost on Tuesday. 5, 6, and 7 were victorious along with the number 1. Eli Edwards lays it in. Edwards continues his strong postseason play. Leading scorer on Tuesday against Indiana South Bend. He's got 6 already tonight, all 6 for Olivet. Second unit in for the Fighting Saints. Ramel Davis and Joffrey Nunnally are the only 2 starters still on the floor. Connor Casper gets the screen, passes to Davis. Davis just inside the free throw line, kicks outside. Joffrey Nunnally makes the 3. Nunnally was the top 3-point shooter in the conference this year. He's got his first 3 points today. An 8-point per game score, 46% from beyond the arc. Caleb Coro tries to answer. His 3-pointer misses short. And Ben Fatz grabs the rebound for St. Francis. Sean Richardson pushing it. Ahead for Nunnally. Nunnally up top to Connor Casper. Casper sees Richardson on the left wing. Bounce down low. Ramel Davis. And Davis is called for the travel. He used the body to create a little bit of space on the defender who backed up. And Davis caught a little off guard. Just shuffled the feet a little bit. Mason Wood is in for Olivet Nazarene, along with Andrew Bennett. Nick Nego comes in for Joffrey Nunnally for St. Francis, so one shooter replaces another. Bennett lobs it for Edwards. Handoff Caleb Coro down in the corner. 3-point attempt is good from Mason Wood, a freshman from Savage, Minnesota. Mason Wood becomes the first player outside of Eli Edwards to score for Olivet. And they're down by only 4 points. Casper across to Richardson. Sean Richardson looks down low, finds Ramel Davis. Davis out to Nick Nigo. 7 seconds to shoot. Richardson back to Nigo. 3-point attempt off the rim. Rebound chased towards the sideline. Saved by Ben Fatz on another chance for St. Francis. Ramel Davis crossover in the lane and he's fouled. Mason Wood called for his first foul, third on the Tigers. Ramel Davis, an 80% free throw shooter, is at the line for 2. First shot from Davis is no good. Tigers go back to their bench. Luke Bremen checks in. Eli Edwards gets his first rest of the day. See if they can find some offense without him. Edwards has been pretty much the entire show for Olivet so far today. Davis goes 0 for 2. So the Saints come up empty. Ben Kreitz sitting at the scores table ready to check in for Davis. By missing the second free throw, he's able to keep himself on the floor. Cagey way to buy himself extra minutes. I don't think it was intentional. Cross court 3-pointer for Curl. He's fouled. Davis commits the foul on Tyler Curl, and the freshman Curl will go to the free throw line for 3 attempts. First foul on Davis, first on the Saints. Curl rarely misses from the free throw line, 89% this year. And if he makes all 3 of these, he'll pull Olivet Nazarene to within 1 point. First shot is good. Two more coming for Curl. That's good as well. Ben Kreitz does come in for Davis. Short bench for the Fighting Saints today. No Don Joachim. Sheer Moraity's been out for a while now. So Ben Kreitz gets the call. Limited action this year. It's only the 8th game he's appeared in. He's only played 26 minutes all season. Big part of the rotation a year ago. Richardson around the screen, pulls up inside the 3-point arc, fires out to Nick Nigo. Nigo's 3-point attempt is an air ball. Tigers on the move. Curl pokes off to the left side to Andrew Bennett. Bremen, hand off to Caleb Coro. Coro drives on Ben Fatz, pulls back outside. Mason Wood along the baseline. Layup is blocked by Kreitz. Saints come up with the stop. Tigers had a chance to take their first lead of the game. Nothing doing. Now it's Fatz into Nigo, stolen by Mason Wood. Second team offense struggling to find any rhythm right now for St. Francis. Bench hasn't scored yet. Pull up for Coro. Coro is good. Off the front of the rim. Took a friendly bounce and dropped in. Tigers have their first lead of the night, 14-13. They've scored the last 8 points after the Saints had a 7-point lead. Connor Casper looking inside for Fatz. A lot of contact down there. And a foul is called on Luke Bremen. Jostling with Fatz. Aitor Anabararte comes in for Connor Casper. 10:27 to play in the first half. St. Francis trying to reclaim the lead that they held for the first 9 minutes. Richardson into Anabararte. Sean Richardson sets his feet for 3. That's short. Rebound grabbed by Andrew Bennett. Fired ahead for Wood. Wood to Caleb Coro. 3-ball. Off the rim. Coro, slow start today. 20-point per game scorer is at 2. And a loose ball foul is called on St. Francis. It goes against Sean Richardson. First foul on Richardson. Second on the team. Coro will be the inbounder. Caleb Coro just 1 of 5 from the field so far today. Tigers will need him to pick it up if they want to pull off the upset and advance to the championship game. Coro out to Bennett, 3-pointer. Rims out, rebound to Ben Fatz and the Fighting Saints. Fatz nearly threw it out of bounds. Richardson's able to keep it alive. Saints set up their half-court offense. Anabadarte on the wing, looking down low, bounces to Ben Fatz. Working one-on-one against Luke Brayman. Fatz backs in, double team, throws it up, misses. Offensive rebound, Anabadarte. Saints can reset, shot clock doesn't. Nick Nego can't finish, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line after a timeout. 9:33 to play, first half. St. Francis has gone ice cold. They'll try to get off the schneid on the other side of this break. 14-13, Olivet, back in a moment. St. Francis hasn't scored in more than 4 minutes. They trail Olivet Nazarene 14-13. Second time they've met each other on this floor. Back on February 1st, Saints took out the Tigers 90-52. A stunning loss for an Olivet team that has been the class of the conference in recent years. They have lost some major talent, though, the last couple of seasons. They've still got a lot of good talent, but not the All-Americans they've had in recent seasons. And it took them a while to gel this year. It really didn't happen until after that game, but then they finished the season on a 5-game winning streak. They extended it to 6 consecutive wins in the first round of the conference tournament, trying to make it 7 straight today. First time these two teams met up, it was considerably closer back on December 5th. Saints beat the Tigers in Bourbonnais 74-62. So they did go 2-0 against Olivet this year, but again, this Tigers team is playing its best basketball of the season when it matters most down the stretch here. Nick Nego misses the first free throw. St. Francis 0 of 3 at the line today. It's only the second free throw that Nick Nego has missed this year, which isn't saying much. It's only the 5th he's attempted. This is the 6th, and this one is good. Saints are 1 of 4 at the line. Make that 3 of 6 at the line. Merrick Small made his 2. Daniel Murphy, hounded by Ben Kreitz at half court, throws it off to his right, and Andrew Bennett. Bennett pulls up, top of the key, 3-pointer. Off the front of the rim, it bounces in. That rim has been awfully kind to Olivet Nazarene early on today. Tigers back in front, 17-14. Sean Richardson outside the 3-point arc on the wing for the Saints. Sends it down to the corner. Ben Kreitz back near half court. Nick Nego. Shot clock under 10. It's Merrick Small giving back to Nego. Nego doesn't use the screen. Drives to the right. Loses the ball. Knocked away by the Tigers. Caleb Coro takes over. Coro steps down the lane and lays it in. Beautiful drive from Caleb Coro. And Olivet's lead is 5. They're on a 13-1 run. St. Francis hasn't made a field goal in more than 5 minutes. Sean Richardson cross to Aitor Anabadarte. Feigns the 3. Takes it inside. Anabadarte to the rim. No good. Rebound to Brayman. Olivet trying to extend a 5-point lead. It's Bennett. Step back 3. Bennett, this time it's the front of the rim. Does not go in. And Aitor Anabadarte is called for the loose ball foul. It'll be number 1 on not Anabadarte, but Merrick Small. Third foul on St. Francis. They did get Small for the foul. 8:08 on the clock. Delshawn Sims, Joffrey Nunnally, Ramel Davis all back in. With the starting unit on the floor, Saints controlled this game early. Once the backups came in, Olivet took over. And they're taking over against the starters now as well. Eli Edwards lays it in. Edwards has 8 points. He scored the first 6 for Olivet, then took a break, just back into the game, and right back to work. 15-1 run, Olivet Nazarene. More than 6 minutes without a basket for the Saints. Joffrey Nunnally over to Ramel Davis. Davis down the lane, floats it up and in. So they went over 6 minutes, but finally back on the board. Ramel Davis has 8 for St. Francis. And Caleb Coro is going to try to get those 2 points right back from the free throw line. Coro fouled on his way to the rim. First foul on Joffrey Nunnally. Coro will get 2 free throws, 4 points for him so far. 89% free throw shooter, makes the first. Coro's a redshirt junior out of St. Patrick High School on the north side of Chicago. Leading scorer this season for Olivet, second leading scorer in the conference. He's got 6. 23-16 Tigers. Very slow offensive start for them. They've turned it around. Delshawn Sims finds Aitor Anabadarte. Up top to Merrick Small. Nunnally on the left wing. Up top to Sims. Delshawn Sims hands it off. Works its way back to Sims around a screen to his right. Jump pass out to Anabadarte. Three-pointer. Good. Aitor Anabadarte has 5 points. Pulls the Saints back within 3. Fourth made three-pointer of the game for the Fighting Saints. Here's Daniel Murphy working against his fellow number 0, Ramel Davis. Murphy picks it up, kicks out to Caleb Coro. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Coro to Edwards. Eli Edwards working against Small. Pull-up jumper, got the roll. Well defended by Merrick Small, but Eli Edwards is turning everything into gold here in the first half. 10 points already for the red-hot Edwards. Junior averaging better than 17 points per game for the year. Nunnally to Anabadarte, right back to Nunnally. Delshawn Sims crosses to his left, step back 3. Perfect from Delshawn Sims. The 5th made three-pointer of the half for St. Francis. It is their outside shooting keeping them in the game right now as they trail by only 3. Caleb Coro throws to the cutting Eli Edwards, picked up by Delshawn Sims. Small comes over to help. Caleb Swearingen to Tyler Curl, open 3, good. Good ball movement by Olivet. Saints defense over-rotated, left a man wide open. 6 points for Tyler Curl. Trading three-pointers here as we start to get late in the first half. Nunnally gives it to Small. Over on the wing, Aitor Anabadarte, under 10 to shoot for Delshawn Sims. Bounce down low, it's Merrick Small. Up with the right hand, doesn't get it, off the rim. Rebound to Olivet, Tigers on the move. Caleb Coro picked up by Nunnally. Coro slows it down, lets his offense get set up. He finds Murphy on his right. Murphy leaning in on Delshawn Sims, picks it up in the paint. Kicks to the cutting Edwards. Eli Edwards backing in. Edwards one-on-one with Small. Turnaround, no. Rolled around the rim, didn't fall. Rebound tipped by Murphy, right back to Edwards. Caleb Swearingen works his way inside. Swung around Caleb Coro. Back into the post for Murphy. Daniel Murphy shakes free of Delshawn Sims and lays it in. Sims went for the steal. Murphy didn't give the ball up and then got an open look. The lead is 8 for Olivet, a game high for them. Aitor Anabadarte on the elbow, tries to get it into Merrick Small. Small is fouled on the floor. And that'll take us to another timeout. 4:09 on the clock. Olivet Nazarene 30, St. Francis 22. Tigers were slow to start, but once they woke up, they got rolling in a hurry. They've scored the last 5 points. They were down at one point 13-6. They've outscored St. Francis since then 24-9. They're 8 of 20 from the field overall. That's not right. They were at one point 8 of 20 from the field. But they have picked up the pace since then. And they have picked it up from the outside as well. 11 for 24 overall, 3 of 7 from three-point range. And the thing that has kept the Saints going is that they've hit 5 three-pointers so far. 2 for Ramel Davis and 1 apiece for Delshawn Sims, Joffrey Nunnally, and Aitor Anabararte. We'll see if the Saints can get the rest of their game outside of those three-point shots going. One other game going on today. The winner of this will face the winner of Governor State Calumet in the championship. And the winner of this game will host that championship, whether it's the 1 seed Fighting Saints or the 5 seed Tigers, because Calumet and Governor State are the 6 and 7 respectively. That game's going on right now. I'll get you a score update a little bit later. At last check, Calumet did have a double-digit lead. They were just here last week. They could be back again this weekend, but only if St. Francis picks it up. Delshawn Sims inbounds to Merrick Small. Nunnally to Sims on his left. Sims guarded by Caleb Coro. Bounce down low for Ramel Davis. Davis has it poked away, and he touched it last. St. Francis turns the ball over. Ben Fotz checks in for the Saints. Under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Great start today for St. Francis, but Olivet has picked it up. Saints have faded as the half has gone on. Still anybody's game. Saints trailed by as many as 9 points in the first half in the tournament opener on Tuesday. They were able to turn it around and coast to a victory over St. Ambrose. Foul called on Ramel Davis, and that's number 2 on him. St. Ambrose actually did fight back on Tuesday and make it close, but after trailing by 9 early, Saints took the lead early in the second half and never gave it up. Much more impressive as that game went on. Curl over to Swearingen. Daniel Murphy on the outside. Picked up by Anabararte. Murphy fights his way inside. Tries to get around Anabararte, loses control and throws the ball away. Ben Fotz is there to pick it up. 30-22, Olivet Nazarene on top. Just over 3 minutes to play in the half. Saints trying to put a dent into this deficit before halftime. Anabararte drives, throws it up. It's grabbed by Ben Fotz, who scores. Anabararte got up in the air without really an idea of where to go with the ball. He threw it towards Fotz, but it was deflected, and it looked like Olivet was going to force the turnover. Instead, loose ball was picked up by Fotz, and it turned into 2 points for St. Francis. A fortunate 2 points, but they're back within 6. Caleb Swearingen to Caleb Coro. Coro drives, pulls back. Guarded by the much bigger Aitor Anabararte. Coro crosses over, step back 3. Rims out, and knocked out of bounds. Going the Saints' way. Delshawn Sims will take it down the floor for St. Francis. The Olivet faithful letting the officials hear their displeasure for that last call. They thought that Olivet should keep the ball. Ben Fotz spins around Brayman and scores at the rim. Great ball work. Ben Fotz makes it a 4-point game. He's got the last 4 points. Coro into the corner for Murphy. Caleb Swearingen drives. Swearingen into the paint. Back out to Curl. Tyler Curl drains the 3. 9 points for Curl. The lead is back up to 7 for Olivet. Delshawn Sims holds it out on the Pat Quigley logo. Moves to his right, down into the corner. Dribbles the baseline, opposite corner, fires the 3. Off the rim, rebounded by Curl. St. Francis cut the deficit to 4. Olivet got the three-pointer, now trying to add 3 more from Tyler Curl. He hits again. 4 3-pointers for Curl. And Olivet has their biggest lead of the night, 36-26. Timeout called by the Fighting Saints. That is technically the 3rd three-pointer for Curl. His 4th three-point play. He was fouled shooting one of them, made 3 free throws, but he's 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, 3 of 3 from the line. Great first half for Curl. He's got 12. Eli Edwards has 10, leading the way for Olivet Nazarene. St. Francis not quite as consistent in the first half. They're 5 of 11 from three-point range, but just 4 of 11 from two-point range. 72 seconds to play before halftime, and the Saints are just going to try to make it a manageable deficit going into the break. Ben Fatz had a few big buckets just a few moments ago. 4 points for him. Got the deficit down to 4, but then back-to-back three-pointers for Curl put Olivet ahead by a game-high 10 points. Ramel Davis sits down with his 2 fouls for the final minute plus of the first half. Nick Nigo back on the floor. Ben Fatz gives it up to Aitor Anabararte. Anabararte works inside on Brayman. Physical play inside, and he's fouled. Anabararte is going to the free throw line. Relatively quiet first half for him. 5 points, 3 rebounds so far. Average is better than 16 and 8 for the season. Anabarte's first shot is good. His first free throw of the game. He takes about 7 foul shots per game on average. He's got 2 shots today, and he's made them both. 7 points for Anabararte. Saints are within 8. If they can get a stop and a score, they probably feel pretty good about themselves going into halftime down 5 or 6. Timeout called by Olivet. St. Francis actually led this game for the first 9 minutes. Olivet took over with a big run, and they have been in front for the last now 10-plus minutes. So there's been just 1 lead change in the ball game, but both teams have pretty equally shared the lead. It's a big possession for St. Francis. Big possession for Olivet, too. If the Tigers get a score and a stop, they'll have a double-digit lead at halftime, feeling mighty good about themselves. If St. Francis gets a stop, whether or not they score on their possession, they'll know that it is at least single-digit deficit. They can go back to the drawing board and hope for a big second half the way they had after overcoming a deficit on Tuesday. See what the Tigers have in mind here. Plenty of time to go 2 for 1 if indeed they want to. So we'll see if Nick Berkey drew up a quick shot for them, if they're going to try to milk the clock a little bit. Swearingen inbounds to Coro. 6 points in the half for Caleb Coro. He is taking his time. So it appears that they'll play for just 1 more possession this half. Coro drives down the lane, works his way inside, pass deflected, stolen by Joffrey Nunnally. Here's Aitor Anabararte on the move. Anabararte gets across half court, finds Nunnally. The defense back quickly for Olivet, so the Saints slow it down. Ben Fatz's pass deflected, knocked out of bounds. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 3 seconds difference between the shot and game clock. So right here, if the Saints don't get something quickly off of the inbounds play, I would imagine they'll run a little clock. Ben Fatz to Nick Nigo. They did not get anything quickly off the inbounds play. They'll run their offense, though, as standard. Ben Fatz down into the paint, and he traveled. No, foul called, sorry. foul on Olivet Nazarene. And that is their 8th. So it does put Ben Fatz at the free throw line. Luke Brayman called for his 3rd foul of the half. So he checks out. The freshman Luke Yeager comes in for the final 14.2. 1-1 for the senior from Germany. Ben Fatz makes the front end. That gives him 1 more. One out of 2. Rebound poked out to Delshawn Sims. So the Saints will get to take the last shot of the half. They've scored the last 3 points. Looking to add a few more before halftime. 3 seconds. Aitor Anabararte, turnaround jumper, doesn't roll in. And that'll do it for the first half. Saints were able to play that last minute well, though. Talked about it a few times, making sure you can get that deficit under 10 points at halftime. They did that with the bucket and then the free throw. They got the big defensive stop on Olivet's last possession as well. So the Tigers are in control, but it's anybody's game going into the second half. 36-29, Olivet trying to pull their 2nd consecutive upset. Last game on Tuesday, really more of a coin flip, but this would be a true upset if they're able to beat St. Francis. They're 20 minutes away from doing so, and we're 15 minutes away from the start of the second half. So I'll be back with you then. We'll get first half stats and then ready to go for part 2 of the CCAC semifinal. Olivet Nazarene leads St. Francis 36-29 at halftime. Moments away from the start of the second half in Joliet. St. Francis trails Olivet Nazarene 36-29 in the CCAC tournament semifinals. Great start today for USF, and then they faded. Olivet picked it up. Down by as many as 7, Olivet eventually went ahead by as many as 10 points. It's a 7-point game now. Leading scorer is Tyler Curl with 12 points. He's 3 of 3 from three-point range, and also had a three-point play when he was fouled, shooting a three, ended up making all 3 free throws. He's also got a team-high 3 rebounds. Eli Edwards has 10 points. Caleb Coro, a little bit slower than usual day offensively for him with just 6 points on 2 of 7 shooting, but he's got 3 assists. For St. Francis, Ramel Davis, 8 points, 3 blocks. He ended up picking up his second foul late in the half as well. Aitor Anabararte has 7 points, 3 rebounds for St. Francis. Anabararte is a 60% shooter, just 2 of 8 today. Delshawn Sims and Merrick Small lead the way with 3 assists for St. Francis. They've shot just 39% from the field. One of the top shooting teams in the country this season. Haven't been able to get it going today against a tough Olivet defense. The Tigers are at 48%. Both teams have shot very well from outside. 5 of 11 for the Saints, 5 of 10 for Olivet. Tigers basketball as we start the second half. Caleb Coro gets a screen, moving to his left. Up top to Eli Edwards. Edwards was great in the first half. Coro trying to start great in the second half, but he misses the 3. Knocked out of bounds by the Tigers. Edwards did pick up 2 fouls in the first half, and he was limited to just 12 minutes as a result. So if the Saints can get him to pick up another foul or 2, it'll be a big benefit to them, because Edwards, when he's been out there, has been the best player on the floor. Delshawn Sims passes across his body to Joffrey Nunnally on the wing. Lobbed for Aitor Anabararte. He's in the corner with 13 to shoot. Backing in on Coro. Kicks out to the open Delshawn Sims, and Sims misses the 3. Each team misses a 3-pointer on their opening possession of the second half. Tyler Curl was trying to find Eli Edwards inside. Bounced off the foot of a Fighting Saint. Kick violation. It'll be Olivet basketball from the baseline. St. Francis got home court advantage throughout the CCAC tournament by getting the number 1 seed. I don't know how well it has served them in at least one capacity today. I'd say just eyeballing it, seems like there are more Tigers fans than Saints fans today. Tyler Curl, deep 3, off the rim. First miss of the day from the outside for Curl. Joffrey Nunnally up and running for the Saints. Jump stop off the block. He knocks it in. Joffrey Nunnally's got 5. Saints have scored the last 5 points going back to the final minute of the first half, and they've cut their deficit in half. Caleb Swearingen gives it up to Eli Edwards. Edwards, 16-foot jumper misses. Rebound goes to Ramel Davis. Davis pushing it ahead for St. Francis, working inside on Caleb Swearingen. Ramel Davis, offensive foul. That's number 3 on him. Lowered his shoulder into Caleb Swearingen. Swearingen took the hit, and the Saints turn it over. First foul of the half on St. Francis, but a very costly one. 3rd of the game on Davis, who averages 12.5 points per game, 2nd on the team. Caleb Coro dribbles to his left, behind the back pass to Caleb Swearingen. Swearingen drives, he's blocked by Anabararte. Swearingen got it right back and threw it off the foot of Joffrey Nunnally, so it'll stay with Olivet Nazarene. Nice block by Anabararte, his first of the game, 5th for St. Francis today. Ramel Davis has 3. Ben Kreitz picked up a block as well. Out to Caleb Coro. 15 to shoot. Daniel Murphy drives, and he's fouled by Anabararte on the reach. That's number 2 on Aitor. Excuse me, number 1 on him. So not a big concern right there. Ramel Davis is still on the floor. Obviously, a big game today. A conference tournament. Ryan Marks can't afford to be without him for too long. So he's playing with 3 fouls. Edwards playing with 2 fouls. Gets the reverse. Beautiful drive from Eli Edwards. He's got 12. Olivet has their first points in about 4 minutes. They lead by 7. Joffrey Nunnally spins into the paint. Little fadeaway, well short. Rebound goes to Olivet. Pushed ahead to Curl. Tyler Curl gets it out to Edwards. Eli Edwards backs in on Merrick Small. Edwards fighting for positioning. Turnaround on Small, banks it in. Tough shot for Eli Edwards. I don't think Merrick Small could have played that any better than he did defensively. But Edwards has scored 4 points in a row, and he gives Olivet a 9-point lead. Aitor Anabadarte up top to Merrick Small. Sims looking down low for Davis. He's got him. Davis, one dribble, inside, lays it off the glass and in. Big play for Ramel Davis. He's into double figures. First Saint to say that tonight. He's at 10 points. Caleb Coro steps inside the three-point arc, bounces to Edwards. Another tough shot for Edwards, and again it goes down. Everything's falling for Eli Edwards. He has been outstanding today. He's got 16 points, 8 of 10 shooting. Delshawn Sims trapped on the baseline, finds Joffrey Nunnally. Here's Merrick Small turning to face the basket. Small stripped by Murphy, gets it back. Finds Anabadarte on the outside, and he knocks down the three. 10 points for Aitor Anabadarte. 42-36. St. Francis hanging around against a plucky Olivet team that has won 6 consecutive games, going back to the first week of February. Caleb Coro drives around Nunnally, scoops it up and in. 8 points for Caleb Coro. Tough sledding for both of the leading scorers today. Coro and Anabadarte have had to fight hard for their points, but they're getting them. Anabadarte now at 10, Coro at 8. Delshawn Sims rolls to his right, picks up his dribble, finds Joffrey Nunnally. Nunnally bounces to Merrick Small. Small is stripped by Caleb Swearingen. And here come the Tigers. Curl to Murphy, and Murphy throws it in. Olivet's lead is back up to 10, matching their biggest. St. Francis has picked up their offensive game a little bit, but Olivet still going strong. After that slow start for the Tigers, they have been very difficult to stop. Merrick Small bounces into Anabadarte, who is fouled on the floor. Caleb Swearingen called for reaching in from behind. 46-36, just under 15 minutes to play, and it's a timeout. Back in just a moment. Olivet up by 10. The winner of this game plays on Friday. In fact, the winner of this game hosts on Friday. It'll be either Governor State or Calumet College of St. Joseph. That game is at halftime right now in Whiting, Indiana, and Calumet has a 46-41 lead on Governor State. Those are the 6 and 7 seeds, but man, those are arguably the 2 hottest teams in the conference. Olivet not too far behind, winners of 6 in a row. Short-term, Olivet's probably the hottest team in the conference. They have not lost since February 5th. They were decimated here on February 1st. 90-52 was the final score of that game. St. Francis outscored them in the second half, 48-16. A shocking score if you're an Olivet Nazarene supporter. But today, the Tigers are making amends, playing a really good basketball game so far. They lead by 10. A lot of time left, though. Nick Nigo is fouled, cutting to the basket. Second foul on Olivet this half. That goes on Daniel Murphy, his second. Nigo and Ben Fatz are in right now for the Fighting Saints. Anabadarte, Sims, and Nunnally all remain on the floor. Ryan Marks will use his reserves a little bit more judiciously here today than usual. It's a playoff game. They can't afford to be without their star players for too long, so Aitor Anabadarte remains on the floor. He drives with the left hand. Nice stop inside with the layup. Beautiful drive from the 6', 7" tall Aitor Anabadarte. "12 points for him. Tyler Curl's got 12 for Olivet. He kicks outside to Caleb Swearingen. Murphy takes one step in, back out to Swearingen. Making a move on Nick Nigo. Swearingen, turnaround jumper, good. The Tigers continue to score. They are hitting tough shots left and right. 6 for 10 from the field this half. Joffrey Nunnally finds Nick Nigo. Bounced over to Anabadarte, high post. Anabadarte turns to face the basket. Into Ben Fatz, surrounded by purple shirts. He puts it up and in anyway. In traffic, Ben Fatz makes it happen. 7 points for him. Trading buckets, a lot of offense here in the second half. It was 36-29 at halftime. Caleb Coro, pull-up jumper from the mid-range. He's fouled. The mid-range game has been really strong for Olivet Nazarene today. And this time it gets Coro to the free throw line where he almost never misses. Coro gets to the line a lot. And he shoots it at 90%. 2 for 2 today. 49-40. Sean Richardson in for Delshawn Sims. So Nunnally and Anabadarte are the two starters who remain on the floor for St. Francis. 2 for 2. Coro's in double figures. Third Tiger to hit that mark. 50-40. Olivet maintains the 10-point lead. It's been right around here this whole second half. Anabadarte working against Caleb Swearingen. Gets it right back. Coro helps on defense. Fired outside to Nick Nigo. Joffrey Nunnally, 7 to shoot. Gets the screen, rolls to his left. Lobs it inside for Nigo. Nigo finds Anabadarte in the corner. Three-pointer is good. Tough three for Aitor Anabadarte with the shot clock running out. A big bucket for the Fighting Saints. 15 points for Anabadarte, more than half of them already here in the second half. Bennett's pass deflected by Anabadarte, but kept alive by Coro. Caleb Coro for 3. It's short. Rebound chased down by Sean Richardson. Anabadarte making things happen on offense and defense right now. And the Fighting Saints can get within 2 scores on this possession. Ben Fatz over to Joffrey Nunnally. Down low, Aitor Anabadarte working against Swearingen. Fakes the pass, bounces inside, 8 to shoot. Anabadarte jump pass out to Sean Richardson. Top of the key, misses the three-pointer. Offensive rebound, Anabadarte. He's grabbed by Caleb Swearingen, and a foul called on Olivet Nazarene. 7-point game, third foul picked up by the Tigers this half. That's the second on Swearingen. Sean Richardson will inbound from the baseline. Lobbed for Nigo. Picked up by Bennett. Richardson gets the screen, finds his way into the paint, out to Nigo, wanted the shot, but Bennett closed in fast. Nunnally pulls up, jumper from the baseline is good. Joffrey Nunnally's got 7. Just a 5-point game. St. Francis's bench getting fired up on defense. Caleb Swearingen holds it for Olivet, slowing the game down a bit. It's Caleb Coro firing into the circle for Eli Edwards, who's been quiet for a little while. Drive from Coro. Coro shovels off to Edwards. Layup good. 18 for Edwards. They haven't been getting him the ball much over the last couple of minutes, but every time he touches it, he makes St. Francis pay. He has had an outstanding game tonight. Again, he was great on Tuesday against Indiana South Bend. Aitor Anavidarte against Swearingen, backing in, offensive foul. Second time that Swearingen has taken a charge today. St. Francis had all the momentum. They got within 5, and Olivet has taken it back over with a bucket from Edwards. And now they force a turnover, 11:06 to play in the second half. Connor Casper and Ramel Davis check in for Aitor Anavidarte and Joffrey Nunnally. Saints led this one 13-6. And then Olivet went on a big run. They took over the game, and they have not given it back up. Saints have made a few pushes to get within 2 scores. They've been as close as 4 since Olivet took the lead early on. Edwards hands it to Coro. Caleb Coro shuffles along the baseline, pulls it back out, 8 to shoot. Coro backs up near the far sideline, working against Ben Fatz. Step back 3, short. Rebound chased towards the near side and brought in by Daniel Murphy. Second chance for Olivet. Andrew Bennett lobs it down low for Edwards. One-on-one with Casper. Edwards finally misses one and knocks the rebound out of bounds. Haven't seen that much from Eli Edwards tonight. In fact, that was probably one of his better looks. Pretty clean over Connor Casper. He's made some very difficult shots with a hand in his face. But he comes up short this time, 7-point game. Sean Richardson bounces down low to Ramel Davis. Davis directing traffic, gives to Richardson. Richardson fakes right, drives left, kicks to Nigo. Nick Nigo around Andrew Bennett, little floater, no good, and a foul called on Olivet. Nigo's the spot-up shooter, does not take the ball inside very often, although when he does, good things tend to happen. He was a remarkable 14 for 17 shooting 2-pointers this year. About a 34% shooter on 3-pointers. And now he's got 2 free throws. First one is good. Like I said, he doesn't carry the ball inside all that often. As a result, he doesn't get himself to the line much. Nigo this season played in every game, averaged 15 minutes per game. It's just to give you an indication that it's not a small sample size. He had only taken 4 free throws all year, and he's taken 4 tonight. He's made 3 of them. And now St. Francis trails by 47, according to the scoreboard. They're going to take a minute to get that cleaned up. It is not 52-5. Score is 52-47. St. Francis trails by 5. They've scored more than 5. Now they're losing points. Boy, this is rough stuff for St. Francis. Oh, never mind. Big lead for the Fighting Saints. A huge cheer from the crowd as the Saints all of a sudden go up 199-52. 10:04 to play in this game. At under 10 minutes, we'll have an extended timeout. It's a shame that the scoreboard malfunction didn't happen then. So we'll have a delay here, and then we'll have another one at the next stoppage of play. It is a 5-point game right now. Saints have trailed by as many as 10. They were down 7 at halftime. And they have fought their way back a couple of times. They've gone on a few nice runs to get within 4 or 5 points. And the officials are going to send the teams to their bench right now. So they're going to turn this into a timeout. 10:04 to play. Second half. 47 for the Saints, 52 for Olivet right now. It's a 5-point lead for the Tigers. Trying to win their 7th consecutive game and beat St. Francis for the first time this year. Slow start for the Tigers, at least by their standards, to this season. I talked about it before. They've lost some exceptional talent in recent years to graduation. And sometimes it takes a little time to blend the new team together. This year, they were at one point just 1-5. They finished the regular season with a 15-13 record. They got hot late in the year, winning their final 5 games, so they finished 13-7 in conference. Good enough to very comfortably net themselves a spot in the CCAC tournament. And then on Tuesday against Indiana South Bend, they were able to hold on for a 75-73 win. The Tigers led most of that game. In fact, not dissimilar to today. They had a lead most of the way. It was never at any point a comfortable lead. Certainly wasn't a blowout, but they were up most of the way, and then all of a sudden Indiana South Bend got hot late. They got to within 2, but they ran out of time to complete the comeback. And St. Francis today is trying to do something similar to what the Titans did 2 days ago, which is make that second half comeback. Except they're just hoping that theirs doesn't come up short the way the Titans did on Tuesday. Governor State, the number 7 seed, beat second-seeded Indiana Northwest 104-101 in overtime on Tuesday night. And Calumet College of St. Joseph went to the south side of Chicago and beat St. Xavier 73-70. So all 3 games outside of the one played here in the first round were won by the lower seeds, and they were all won by a single possession. Really exciting quarterfinal round of action. The semifinal proven to be pretty exciting as well. Up to the moment, Governor State leads Calumet 54-50. About 15 minutes to play in that game. The winner of that travels to the winner of this for the conference tournament championship on Saturday. And now we've got another clock issue. Well, this is a clock issue. The other one was a scoreboard issue. So I should clarify that. It was 10:04 on the game clock when this possession began. So 6 seconds have run off the game clock, only 2 off the shot clock. So obviously the 2 did not start at the same time. So it's been a rough couple of minutes, but we're ready to go. Olivet will inbound from the front court this time, leading by 5. They got an unexpected break with the scoreboard issue, but that break was going to come pretty soon anyway on the under 10-minute timeout. So it really doesn't throw anything off. Daniel Murphy passes up top to Eli Edwards. Hand off to Andrew Bennett. Shot clock down to 6. Caleb Coro down to the corner. Long 2. Coro misses off the rim. Rebound grab by Connor Casper. And St. Francis can pull within 1 possession here. Sean Richardson bounces down low to Ben Fatz. Back out to Richardson. 3 ball. No. Rebound Daniel Murphy. So Olivet maintains a 2-possession lead. More than halfway through this second half. Tigers' 7-point halftime lead has shrunk by only 2. Murphy over to Bennett, looking inside, finds Mason Wood. Wood working against Connor Casper. Fires across court. It's Eli Edwards. Edwards has 18 points in the game, looking to add a few more. Fadeaway jumper off the backboard, missed it. Rebound grab by Casper. Saints have forced Edwards into some really tough looks lately. Not able to capitalize there. The shot misses short from Romel Davis. Ball loose on the floor. Casper grabs at it. We've got a tie-up, and the possession arrow favors St. Francis. Connor Casper is fighting hard for every loose ball right now. I don't know how he kept that one alive. It looked sure that Olivet was going to secure it. Casper checks out as Aitor Anavararte returns to the floor. Anavararte, the Saints' leading scorer this year. He's also their leading scorer in this game with 15 points. Shot clock set to 20, 8:39 to play in the game. Both teams have gone a little bit quiet after we saw a flurry of scoring just a little bit ago. Saints would love to get out of the cold snap right here. Romel Davis loses the ball, gets it back, and gives to Anavararte. Here's Sean Richardson. Richardson finds Nick Nigo on the wing. Nigo looking down low for Davis, has him. Davis kicks it out to Anavararte. Nice fake, gets inside, lays it in. Aitor Anavararte has 17. Saints are within 3. This is as close as they've been in the second half. Coro down to Edwards, outside Tyler Curl. He's had the hot hand today, but not anymore. He has not made a shot in the second half after scoring 12 in the first. St. Francis could tie with a three-pointer. Ramel Davis will try for that tie. Rims out, and the rebound goes to Caleb Swearingen. Good look from Davis, who has hit 2 threes today. Swearingen hands to Curl. Tyler Curl picked up by Nick Nigo. His pass is deflected by Davis and taken away. A steal for St. Francis. Sean Richardson, top of the circle, bounces down low. Ben Fatz lays it up, no good. Fight for the loose ball, won by Eli Edwards. Good chance for the Saints there to cut it to 1, but Olivet gets the big stop. Now it's Swearingen trying to add to the lead. Swearingen is blocked by Davis. 4th block of the game by Ramel Davis, and the loose ball is picked up by Nick Nigo. Olivet Nazarene has gone ice cold from the field. Saints have gotten back to within 3, looking to make it a 1-point game. Davis scores and gets to the line. He'll try to tie it up on the free throw. Foul is called on Daniel Murphy. That's number 3 on him. Timeout called by Olivet. St. Francis has fought their way back from 10 down. They are within 1 point with 7 minutes to play. 52-51 is our score. Olivet is just one of their last 8 from the field. They haven't scored a point in 4.5 minutes. St. Francis 9 of 16 shooting here in the second half. Aitor Anabadarte has stepped up after a tough start for him. He is 4 for 4 and has 10 points since halftime. Ramel Davis has been good all game, 12 points. And he's going to the line to try to pick up number 13 for Olivet today. The go-to guy has been Eli Edwards, but all of a sudden, Edwards has been stopped. He's missed his last couple of shots after starting 8 for 10 from the field. Edwards still has 18 points today, 9 of 14 shooting. Caleb Coro, the leading scorer for Olivet this season, has not been able to get untracked. 10 points for him, 5 assists, 2 steals. It's not like he's had a bad game, but he has shot 3 for 12, which is uncharacteristic for the junior Coro. Second in the conference in scoring this year, 44% shooter, 38% from three-point range. So typically a high percentage shooter, and that just has not been the case today. If Olivet wants to win this one, they're going to need him to pick up his game going forward. Somebody's going to have to step up for the Tigers, who certainly never seem to have this game in hand. They were up by 10, never more than that. But for a long time, it seemed like every time St. Francis went on a run, the Tigers were there to match them and maintain the lead. Now that has not been the case the last few minutes. 4.5 minutes since the Tigers have scored. Ramel Davis misses the free throw. He's 0 for 3 from the line tonight. And the Tigers remain in front, 52-51, under 7 minutes to play. Caleb Coro gives it to Edwards, back to Coro. Around to his right, it's Daniel Murphy. Murphy with 10 to shoot, takes a step back, works his way in on Ramel Davis, kicks out to Coro. Caleb Coro trying to find a shot for himself. Instead, he gets it into Swearingen, no good, and a shot clock violation. Caleb Swearingen is scoreless tonight. He averages 11 a game and just has not been able to find any clean looks. Lately, the St. Francis defense has been suffocating. They're playing well on the offensive end, but not doing anything sensational. It's the defense that has keyed this big run. Ramel Davis trying to give St. Francis the lead. Off the glass, he gives them the lead, 53-52. St. Francis has scored the last 8 points. Olivet now 5.5 minutes since they've scored. Swearingen in trouble, gets it away to Tyler Curl. Curl down low, gets it in off the backboard. Merrick Small came over to help defensively. Curl was able to push it in anyway. First points for the Tigers in nearly 6 minutes. Their once 10-point lead was erased. Now they get it back to 1. We had just 1 lead change in the first 24 minutes of the game. Now 2 in the last 30 seconds. Ramel Davis floats it in. He's got the last 6 for St. Francis. Back and forth we go, 55-54 Saints. Olivet basketball trying to take the lead right back. It's Caleb Coro. Coro fires it back to his right side. Edwards, ball knocked away by Delshawn Sims, and Merrick Small picks up the loose ball. St. Francis has the ball with the lead for the first time since about the 12-minute mark of the first half. Small to Sims. Sims looking inside for Davis. Murphy fell. Davis takes advantage. He has scored 8 points in a row for the Fighting Saints, and their lead is 3. A 12-2 run for St. Francis to reclaim this advantage. Here's Daniel Murphy under the basket, bumped by Davis. That's his 4th foul. So Davis has been the hot hand for St. Francis. He's scored 8 points in a row. He's up to 18 for the game. And with 4.5 minutes to go, Ryan Marks has a decision to make about how he'll use Ramel Davis going forward. 4 fouls on him, timeout on the floor. Back in just a moment. St. Francis leads by 3. (57-54) St. Francis. They've trailed the majority of the game, but they've, over the last 9 minutes, outscored Olivet 17-4. Erasing what was a 10-point lead for the Tigers. If St. Francis is able to hold on to this one, they will host the conference championship game on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. They will take on the winner of Calumet Governor State. Saints would love to see either team. They played very tight games in the last month. Last time Calumet was here was just last week. Saints beat them by 2 in overtime. They saw Governor State 2 weeks ago and lost by 1. So they would love to see the Jaguars a chance for a little revenge. First things first, they've got to take out Olivet. Aitor Anabatarte is called for the foul on Eli Edwards. That's number 2 on Anabatarte. Number 3, sorry, on Anabatarte. Ramel Davis still on the floor. He picked up his 4th foul just prior to the timeout. Daniel Murphy over to Curl, looking for the tie. Air ball on the 3-pointer. I guess technically not an air ball. He missed the rim, but he got the backside of the backboard. Not a good shot regardless. 57-54. St. Francis trying to extend their lead. And a foul is called on Olivet. That was away from the ball. Called on Curl. 6th foul on the Tigers, so both teams have hit their limit. We'll get free throws on fouls over the final 4 minutes of the game. Ben Fat's back in for St. Francis. Nunnally over to Delshawn Sims. Down low, Davis. Davis has had the hot hand. He scored 8 points in a row. Defensive foul called on Daniel Murphy. Big call there as Murphy tried to knock Davis out of the game. And instead, he picks up his 4th. So Davis at the line. They called it a shooting foul. He's 0 for 3 shooting free throws today. It's been the one hole in his game this evening, but he fills it in. He has scored the last 9 points for the Saints, 19 points in the game. One more shot. He misses the second. So still struggling from the line. He's been good everywhere else tonight. St. Francis leads 58-54. From a 10-point deficit to a 4-point lead in this second half. Caleb Coro backs up. Coro picks up his dribble, fires across court to Swearingen. Swearingen looks inside, knocked away by Nunnally. Ball loose on the floor, poked around, still loose, finally secured by Coro. Shot clock running out. Murphy for 3. It's an air ball and a shot clock violation. Olivet Nazarene has just 2 points in the last 8 minutes. And St. Francis is trying to take over this game as we approach the final 3 minutes of play. Anabadarte over to Sims. Delshawn Sims holds in position, gives it up top to Davis. Ben Fatz at the free throw line. Handoff back to Ramel Davis. Davis carries it inside, back to Fatz. Ben Fatz over Edwards, scores, and makes it a 6-point lead. Swearingen is fouled by Aitor Anabadarte. That's his 4th. So Anabadarte and Davis both have 4 fouls now. 2 of them have combined for 36 of St. Francis's 60 points. And that is certainly a path to victory for Olivet if they can knock both of those guys out of the game. Fighting Saints have certainly taken over control of this game, but still just a 2-score contest with a lot of time left. So they have not pulled away by any means. Free throws coming up for Caleb Swearingen. Swearingen has just 2 points today. 1 of 5 from the field. It's been a tough offensive game for him, but he's an 82% free throw shooter, and he's got a chance to end the Olivet drought. He does on the first free throw. Olivet had just 2 points over the last almost 9 minutes now, make it 3 in the last 9 minutes. And they score again. And that just goes to show how well Olivet had been playing earlier in the game. But you can score 2 points over a 9-minute stretch and still be right in it. They are right now. Down by only 4, just about 2.5 minutes to play. Davis guarded tightly by Murphy, and Murphy fouls out. Murphy's not happy with the call. Got to give him a little bit of space. Murphy was standing right on top of him, kind of asking for the foul to be called. And so he picks up his 5th. He's done for the day. 2:34 to play. Nobody's told him yet that that was his 5th foul. He's not being asked to leave. I've got him for 5 fouls. The referee is over at the scorer's table right now, maybe getting clarification. I had him at 5. The official announcement just moments ago was that it was his 5th. The scoreboard isn't working. Typically, it would have it up on the scoreboard, but remember, they had that malfunction a little while ago. They had to reset the scoreboard, so they reset all the stats in the process. Finally, Murphy is told to get out of here. Andrew Bennett comes in. Connor Casper comes in for Aitor Anabadarte, and that's so that he avoids the same fate because he's got 4 fouls. Nick Nigo's at the scorer's table as well, so if Davis makes these 2 free throws. This is a 1-and-1, but if he makes them both, Nigo will come in for him. Davis makes the first. Two of 6 from the line today. He's got 20 points. Trying to extend the lead back to 6. And this is another free throw. Rebound to Caleb Coro. 5-point game. Coro takes it inside the arc. Step back jumper. Got it to go. Big shot for Caleb Coro. Points have not been easy to come by for him tonight. Just 4 of 13 from the field, but a big bucket right there. 3-point game, 2:10 to go. Delshawn Sims bounces to Davis. Davis working against Swearingen. Turns to face the basket. Takes a step towards the paint. Kicks it out to Sims. Back to Davis. Under 2 minutes to play. Ramel Davis, pull-up jumper. Got it. 22 for Davis. Caleb Coro working quickly on the other end. Dribbles it off his foot. It's picked up by Delshawn Sims. And Sims is fouled by Tyler Curl. He'll go to the line. Caleb Coro has had such a good season for Olivet. It has been a rough night for him. Tough shooting game. And he dribbles it off his foot in a critical moment when Olivet needed points. And now St. Francis has a chance to make it a 3-possession game. Sims misses the front end, and the rebound goes to Edwards. St. Francis has not been able to figure out foul shots tonight. This game could be over right now if they were hitting those. The whistle blows on the opposite side of the floor. Not a foul, I think. Well, it is a foul, sorry. It's on Nick Nigo. Nick Nigo fouled Tyler Curl. That was the call. So Curl's going to the line. He'll get a 1-and-1. And he does not usually miss free throws at all. 34 for 38 on the season. For as impressive as this comeback has been for St. Francis, they could have put the game away, but Olivet's shooting 100% from the free throw line. Saints are shooting 56%. Curl makes it 10 for 10 in the game. Saints are 10 of 18. (63-60). 90 seconds to go. Saints will run a little clock to start this possession. Bucket here would be backbreaking to Olivet if they can run the clock down to about 1 minute. Foul called away from the ball. That's on Andrew Bennett, and it's going to send Ramel Davis back to the free throw line. That's the 10th foul, so this will be a 2-shot trip to the line for Davis. He's missed 5 of 7 from the free throw line. From the field, he's only missed 4 shots. He's 9 of 13 from the field, 2 of 7 from the line. Been a great game all around for Davis, but he misses another free throw. 22 points in the game. This is a big one. He needed to make at least one of the two to make it a 2-score game. And Davis hits the second. Nick Nigo back in for defense with Davis sitting on 4 fouls. Olivet Arte stays on the floor this time, playing with his 4. 23 points for Davis. It's a season high for him. He averaged 12.5 points per game this year. He was the leading scorer last season, with Aitor Olivet Arte missing the whole year with an injury. Timeout called by Olivet immediately across half court. Minute 16 to play. 64-60 St. Francis. Olivet led this one by as many as 10 on a few different occasions. Most recently, they had that 10-point lead at 50-40. St. Francis went on a great run after that. Olivet scored just 2 points over a 9-minute stretch. It's been tough. Their go-to guy for most of the season has been Caleb Coro. Coro just hasn't had the shooting touch tonight. He's 0 for 6 from three-point range. Today, their go-to guy has been Eli Edwards, but Edwards has pretty much disappeared over the last 10 minutes. He has not gotten a single clean look during that time. They've tried to get him the ball, but he just has not been able to get any good shots off. Tyler Curl has 16 points tonight, but after going 3 for 3 from three-point range in the first half, he's 0 for 3 in the second half. St. Francis won the regular season title for a reason. They're a resilient group. They have played a lot of games down to the wire, especially here at home late in the season. They've got another one right here, trying to finish off Olivet and give themselves one more home game. Edwards loses the ball, gets it back down to his knee and gives it to Coro. Coro, jumper misses, offensive rebound Edwards. Eli Edwards kicks it outside to Swearingen. Long three for Swearingen, short, and an over-the-back foul called on Olivet. 57 seconds on the clock. St. Francis is called for the foul. It goes against Richardson. Sorry about that. I thought Richardson was the one who was fouled. Obviously, a big call. Curl goes to the line. The guy who's 5 for 5 shooting free throws today. But he misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Rebounded by Aitor Anabadarte. And now the Saints are going to try to ride this one out to a victory. Timeout called by Ryan Marks. 47.9 showing on the clock. What a turnaround there. Free throw shooting has been a story all game. Primarily the story has been struggles for St. Francis. Shooting just 11 of 20 from the line, while Olivet has been perfect. And they send their best shooter to the line, and he misses one. The first miss of the game, and it essentially was 2 misses because it was the front end of a 1-and-1. We could be looking at a 64-62 game. Instead, St. Francis remains ahead by 2 possessions. And if they can run out the entire shot clock here, even if they don't score, it's a 2-score game. And Olivet will only have 26 seconds left. So, of course, St. Francis wants to score, but if they don't, running as much time off the clock is a pretty good consolation, as much as they can. Been a good one tonight. St. Francis led for the first 9 minutes. Olivet took over with a big run midway through the first half. Caleb Coro fouls Sean Richardson, and Richardson will go to the line for 2. Olivet remained ahead for over 20 minutes of game time, leading out a couple of different junctures by as many as 10 points. But St. Francis came to life late. The Fighting Saints are 14 of 21 from the field in the second half. Shooting better than 50% now for the game. And they put the clamps down on Olivet defensively. Richardson makes them both, 66-60. Tigers need points in a hurry here. Andrew Bennett across half court. Bennett steps up to the three-point line, picked up by Ben Fatt, steps back, fires a 3, misses it short. Offensive rebound, Edwards, no, and a foul called on Aitor Anabadarte. Number 5 on him. So Anabadarte is done. He scored 17 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and now he's out for the final 36.5 seconds of regulation. And then potentially anything that would come after that. So Ramel Davis checks back in for him. Davis has 4 fouls. Both guys have been playing with 4 fouls for a while. Davis was called for his 4th about 4 minutes ago, game time. He's been able not to pick up number 5 as Edwards misses the first free throw. That was the 10th of the half on St. Francis. So it's a 2-shot foul. Eli Edwards misses, and Olivet has now missed back-to-back foul shots. Edwards goes 1 for 2. So now the Tigers need to start extending the game. Fouling if they can't force a quick turnover, which they can't. And they send Joffrey Nunnally to the line. Nunnally is the last guy you want to send to the line, but things haven't worked out from the free throw line today the way you might expect. Curl missed a big one. Ramel Davis, typically a very good foul shooter, has missed a bunch. Nunnally missed a couple of key free throws just 2 nights ago in the win against St. Ambrose, but he makes the first one here. Winner of this game hosts the conference championship on Saturday night. St. Francis trying to extend their lead to 3 possessions on this Nunnally free throw with only 35 seconds left. This matches their largest lead of the game at 7 points. Caleb Coro across half court. Coro, a lot of dribbling, gives it up to Edwards. 3-pointer, off the rim, no good. Rebound Casper, he's fouled, and that might just do it. Olivet Nazarene has not been able to knock down their shots in the second half. After playing so well for the first nearly 30 minutes of the game, they've just gone completely cold from the field. And St. Francis now is 24.6 seconds away from securing their first trip to the CCAC championship since they won it in 2019. If this score holds, that championship game will be played here at the Sullivan Center, 7 o'clock Saturday night. Casper makes 1 of 2 from the line. Olivet will try to speed down the floor. They use up their final timeout with 20.8 on the clock. Well, I'm not going to call it over yet. Crazier things have happened in the game of basketball, but it is a major long shot for Olivet right now. They are 0 for 10 from 3-point range in the second half tonight. They're probably going to need several 3-pointers to have any shot in this one over the final 20 seconds. Well, this is what happened last time they played. It was a little bit more dramatic then. But when these teams met up back on February 1st, they played a competitive first half, and then St. Francis turned on the gas and blew by the Tigers in the second half, predominantly because the Tigers couldn't hit any 3-pointers. In the second half of that game, Olivet went 0 for 13 from 3-point range. Today they're 0 for 10. So the last 2 games they've played in this gym, they are a combined 0 for 23 shooting 3-pointers in the second half. It's hard to win basketball games that way. Credit to them today in that they've kept the game close up until the final minute. That wasn't the case last time around, but today they had a chance to win this one pretty much to the end. It's not over yet, but they haven't hit a shot in a while. Saints have been pulling away. Caleb Coro, deep 3, air ball. Offensive rebound, Curl, he scores the 2. 0 for 11 now, shooting 3s in the second half. Joffrey Nunnally is trapped and fouled. 14.4 on the clock. 2 free throws coming up for Nunnally. As long as St. Francis doesn't commit a bad turnover, they're going to win this game regardless of what Olivet does on offense. First of 2 shots coming up for Nunnally. He's made 3 free throws down the stretch. Good game for Joffrey Nunnally today. He's in double figures with 10 points. 3 of 4 from the field, perfect from the free throw line. And it is again an 8-point game. Saints put on a little pressure just to speed up Olivet. Bennett takes the 3 and knocks it down. Finally a made 3-pointer for the Tigers. 8 seconds to go. Inbounded to Nunnally, knocked away, stolen by Coro. Coro steps behind the line. He misses the 3, rebounded by Ben Fatz, and that'll do it. Fatz is fouled. He'll go to the line on the other end. St. Francis with 1.1 on the clock. We'll wrap this one up shortly. Finally, Olivet made a 3-pointer, and then they got the steal for just an instant. It seemed like maybe they still had a shot. If Coro could have made that tough step-back 3, we would have had a very interesting finish to this game. And instead, St. Francis can wrap it up right here. Fatz misses the first free throw. One more coming. Caleb Swearingen checks out. Gets some hugs and high fives from the bench. Caleb Swearingen has been a big part of this program over the last 4 years. But this is where Olivet's season comes to a close. Half-court heave for Bennett is good. And that makes it a 3-point final. 72-69 is our final score. St. Francis knocks off Olivet Nazarene. The Tigers had a lead most of the way. They were close up until the end, and St. Francis was able to put them away over the final minute. Fighting Saints, the top seed in this tournament, advance to the conference championship game on Saturday night. They'll play it right here, 7 o'clock start time. The only question remaining is who will they be facing? It's a barn burner right now in Indiana. Calumet against Governors State coming down to the wire. I'll get you a score update on that one just before signing off here. Let's take a look at some of the final stats from today's game. Fighting Saints end up shooting 68% from the field in the second half, scoring 46 points. That's been the story of this tournament so far. St. Francis has come to life shooting-wise in the second half. They'd rather start strong on Saturday. We'll see if they're able to put up a bigger number early. But if not, they have certainly proven their ability to come on strong late. In the end, they shot 52% from the field, 41% from three-point range. Olivet missed 11 three-pointers in a row to start the second half. They hit 2 of their final 3, including the half-court shot from Bennett. They end up shooting 42% from the field for the game, 29% from three-point range. Leading scorers today, Ramel Davis, a season-high 23 points. He also had 3 blocked shots. Aitor Anabararte had 17 and a team-high 7 rebounds. Joffrey Nunnally chipped in with 11 points. For Olivet, Eli Edwards had 19 points, 8 rebounds. Tyler Curl had 18. Caleb Coro finished with 12 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. Tough shooting night for him, though. Just 4 of 16 from the field, 0 for 8 from three-point range. With the loss, Olivet Nazarene falls to 16-14 as they conclude their 2024-25 season. St. Francis improves to 24-5, and they will play on. They'll be in the national tournament regardless of what happens on Saturday. They know that. They already clinched a bid with the regular season title, but they're trying to pull off the double and get the conference championship as well. They will play on Saturday night against either Governors State or Calumet St. Joe's. With 10 seconds remaining in that game, Governors State has a 70-67 lead. So if they're able to finish it off, it'll be a rematch of a game played here a month ago that Governors State won by 1 point. So St. Francis will get a chance for revenge if indeed that's the case. Again, still 10 seconds remaining in that game. Governors State has a 70-67 lead. That's going to do it from Joliet. St. Francis defeats Olivet Nazarene 72-69 in the CCAC semifinals. Back at it one final time at home this season, Saturday night, a 7 o'clock start time, the conference championship against either Governors State or Calumet. Until then, Terry Bonadonna signing off from the University of St. Francis. Have a great night.